Yo, what is going on, guys? DJ Hess here, CollectiveKicks.com. Wanted to bring you guys a detailed look and review of the Lebron 14 and give you guys kind of my initial impressions in hand of the sneaker, as well as an on-foot look of these sneakers. Also, if you guys are expecting a performance review, this isn't the channel for that. Check out Nightwing, Foamer Simpson, Kicks Genius, and some other channels like that. But this is just more from the casual perspective, how to casual basically. And let's go ahead and get into the Lebron 14. So after the flop of the Lebron 13, Nike really had to make some adjustments in this new model of the Lebron 14, mostly just to get LeBron to even play in them. If you guys noticed, last season he didn't play in the LeBron 13s that much. He actually played on the LeBron Soldiers. So I think that, interestingly enough, this looks like a newer, beefier version of the LeBron Soldier, if you ask me, versus a new flagship innovation fail type release like the Lebron 13 was. So there is some similarities still, because they still have that Hexagon Zoom Air on the bottom for the most part, and then there's some other segments that have just different bags of the Zoom, but ultimately the entire upper looks a little bit more like the LeBron Soldiers than it does any of the other models. So the Lebron 14 features a dual zone composite upper and uses engineered laser perforation on the shoe, so you can see all over the shoe all of the different cuts. It has a little bit of hyperfuse on the outside of the sneaker right here for some reinforcement. Actually, on the inside they didn't use that, they used leather for some added reinforcement on the front section. So interesting, the only parts of leather on the shoe is like right here. So they brought back the strap on the Lebron 14, which actually started out on the Lebron 2, as you can see here, fully removable strap. Also, technically the 4 had the strap as well, just on the top right here. And then the 5 also featured a strap on the Lebron. And the Lebron 14 also now has a strap on the flagship model. There's no crazy special writing underneath. I would have expected them to utilize that and have some sort of quotes or something underneath, strive for greatness or something underneath the straps. They left it blank. On the other side though, on the shoe, you could see that there's a signature right here across the middle section of the strap. And this line comes down, and it's kind of a fun aesthetic appeal because it comes down the shoe, and then you could see that there's that little hit of gold where it cuts across the midsole. So the midsole has that little overlay of gold, which they didn't have to add. It's a nice little added detail that they put on there. So moving your way back to the heel portion of the upper, you can see that they have some reinforcement in a plastic that kind of goes along that same line of that strap, so adds to that linear sort of appeal again to the sneaker. But that only happens on one side of the shoe. It doesn't happen on the other. The other side has the placement of the Nike swoosh. The tongue is kind of interesting. There is none, and it's just all one piece, which is kind of my complaint about the shoe. I don't really love the fact that this is all one piece. I wish they would have detached the tongue. Makes it much easier to get on your feet, and since you have that reinforcement of the lockdown anyway, you shouldn't have it combined with a attached tongue, in my opinion, but maybe it's just me. So it looks like they used like a thicker Flywire to hold down the laces on the shoe. So you can see it zigzags back and forth through the laces up to the pull tab on the top of the tongue. Kind of a nice little aesthetic appeal again to that. The sneakers also come with some hang tags, and not just one but two. They're kind of shaped like the Hexagon Zoom unit on the bottom. This might just be for the Black History Month colorway. I'm not 100% sure. So on the back you could see that there's a LeBron James logo on the heel tab. On the tongue, however, they have the LJ and then the 23 on the other one, so they're actually different on each of the shoes. So this one has a Black History Month logo on the back, since it is the Black History Month colorway. So the gold detailing on these sneakers are pretty nice. I actually like the execution on that. And then the laces on this one has gold tips with the gold flakes, the gold foil through the laces. So moving on to the most interesting part of the sneaker, which is probably the sole to most people. And it features a maximum Zoom Air unit, and it has the most articulated response in a LeBron shoe. So if you haven't noticed, the pods on the bottom are there, and the pods started off on the 12s, evolved their way through on the 13s, and then now we have a new evolution on the 14s. So here's a side-by-side of the 12, the 13, and the 14 of the pods and their shapes. So definitely you can see on the back Zoom unit, it's gotten bigger and bigger, and this one covers the entire heel section of the shoe, and the one on the toe actually covers the entire toe section of the shoe as well. So that is a huge improvement for both of those. So I definitely felt the Zoom when I was jumping up and down downstairs, and I really liked the fact that the Zoom felt pretty responsive. So one of the things that I was wondering why they don't do is why don't they just do the entire bottom Zoom like they did kind of on the Jordans. I'm not really sure. It looks like the LeBrons have a double stack Zoom though comparison to the Jordans. So this might be actually better. And maybe because they cut it out and put it in the sections where it's needed most, it actually cuts down on the weight a little bit. So that could be a good reason. These are fairly light, and LeBron's a big player, so having a light sneaker and being a big player and having the performance behind him, I can see him doing some crazy work this year in these sneakers. So that's just a little bit of a rundown of the LeBron 14. What do you guys think about the model? Is it one that you guys are interested in picking up? Is it something you have just no interest in at all? I think that it's a good looking model. I think that the tongue part is a little bit off for me. I think the sole looks nice. I just need to be able to wear these more to really give you guys a fair indication of whether or not they're comfortable. But I mean, my first impression is the upper is a little bit stiff, but I'm sure that part actually ends up breaking in. Aesthetically, I actually like the overall design. This colorway I think is fire. I really love the white and gold and black. And I have a lot of other sneakers that are white, gold, and black of the LeBron line. So the LeBron 14s retail at $175. Not a bad price point, but honestly, it's still a little bit high considering the marketplace. You can get a pair of the hardened ones or the crazy explosives for 140, 150 bucks. Prime knit upper on the explosives. Super nice shoe. In fact, I'd take the explosives over these if I was to be 100% honest. Aesthetically, though, I like this shoe better. For the higher price points and then dropping down to the 175 is definitely a good strategic move for Nike. Hopefully, they'll keep being able to do that. I think that what they've created is definitely a nice sneaker. It definitely doesn't have that flagship vibe to these, personally, in my opinion, but sometimes it's actually nice if they do that and they don't have to do some crazy harebrained things like this where they put the posit guard over top of the laces. I actually did a video of me removing the laces to my LeBron 13s just for fun because this is impossible to get back on. So they didn't go that crazy of a route and they went safe and sound route, and I'm okay with that. One last thing about the sizing of these, I would say true to size. I'm not an expert on the sizing. Definitely important to reach out to other people on Twitter or on Instagram when you see a post. Ask people how do they fit you, because I haven't had a chance to really give these a fair run yet. So do you think they're going to have a LeBron 14 Elite or the EXT models? The KD has the Elite model that hasn't really had any publication. Usually Nike does a big deal of this big pack of all of the shoes having an Elite version. It looks like they're going to be changing that this year. Honestly, the Elite line has been pretty much a flop. It always ends up at outlets. Price points have been way too high, and the overall performance isn't that much better, even if they put more money into the sneakers. But at the same time, it's one that I really enjoyed. Wondering if they're going to have some EXT lines as well. On the positive note, LeBron's actually rocking these, so that's a good thing. That's pretty much it. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about the LeBron 14. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And then, yeah, hit the thumbs up if you guys like the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit that little bell if you want to be notified when I post videos. I do try to post them every single day. And that's all we have. Have a good one. Catch you guys for some more videos soon. Peace, guys.